Hi everybody, this is Lara at pureelliottwave.com, and I'm going to analyse one more on my list of cryptocurrencies which I am looking at as potential investing opportunities. I'm going to look at Zcash today, and I'm sorry, but you're just all going to have to get used to the way I say Z. That's how we say it in New Zealand, and apparently also in South Africa. It's an accent thing. Okay, I've already done my classic technical analysis. And now I want to have a look at the Elliott wave count, and I'm not going to start from the beginning in October 2016 from this all-time high, which is 5941.8. I'm going to start my Elliott wave count from the low down here in 23rd of February at 26.15. So I think I'm going to have to start on a weekly chart from that low. Yeah, down here. No, it's 18.93, March 2020. Okay. That was lower. Okay, so... Actually, no, I think... first of all, I need to view this in semi-log, because this is just too hard otherwise. I think actually I can put a corrective structure in here down to this low in March 2020. So I'm going to have this as a huge, I think this should probably be primary degree. So a primary degree zigzag possibly over there. And I think that looks pretty good. And then an impulse down here. Nope. Nope. And this is what I can see in here. Oh, no, not like that. Okay, I'm not going to go into the detail of that. Now I want to have a potential impulse beginning here. I'm just going to keep this at primary degree, and I'm not going to make any judgment on what the larger structure may be. And I'm not sure if I'm going to see a complete impulse over to this high. Let's have a look. Nope. Put this up here. I'm going to have to go down to the daily chart level for that. Okay, I think I'll leave the weekly chart there. I'll just save that work. And I'm going to create a daily chart here. Off this. Yep, and now let's see if it fits. If we can see decent Elliott wave structures, that's the purpose for me doing this. And someone made a pretty rude comment saying it was cringe watching me do this. Okay, don't watch then. But the purpose is I want to see if any of these cryptocurrencies have enough volume for reasonable looking Elliott wave structures, because if they do, then that's part of my exit strategy. When I can see a complete Elliott wave structure, that's when part of the requirement I'm looking for to exit. So that's the purpose for doing this. Is there an overlap here? No, I don't think there is. So I want to see this here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That works. And no, I've got to put that there. I don't think there's a triangle in there. I think I can see an impulse here for the fifth wave too. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. I think by this point in time in its price history, there does appear to be enough volume for reasonable looking Elliott wave structures here for Zcash. I don't know, there's a big overlap here. I don't think it's going to fit as a leading diagonal though. Well, that's why, because that's so odd. there's a visual illusion here that makes this low actually look slightly higher than the one prior to it, but it isn't. Oh, and now one fits really nicely. No, I didn't ask you to do that. I wanted you to do this. Okay, great. This is actually looking pretty good. I think 1 ended there, 2's an expanded flat. I think 3 probably ended up here, 4's a little zigzag. This is looking like it has enough volume for reasonable looking Elliott wave structures at this stage. So that can be part of my exit strategy if I think this is a good investment opportunity and I haven't got there yet. And I can see within primary 2 a complete zigzag. No, I want to put this here. Yep, this is lower. And I can see a nice looking impulse in here. And the third wave has a really good look to it. But no, I'm not going to put that there. Let's put it down here. Oh, no. Okay, that's it. And now I'm going to put this here. Yeah. No, I want to put the 4 here. But, oh, I don't think this 5 is going to work. Is it a diagonal? There's a huge overlap in there. Are the wavelengths going to work? No, it doesn't. 3 is longer than 1, 5 is longer than 3, but 4 is shorter than 2, so it's neither contracting nor expanding, so that just doesn't work. Okay, is there ABs? No, that's not. Is 4 some kind of combination? Triangle? No. Well, I could force a triangle in here, but I think this is getting a bit ridiculous. But it fits. I'll put A up there though. The AC trend line's tested. No, I can't put B there. B would be there. I'm not totally happy with that. I think maybe 4 was some kind of combination. And I can't get any lower than daily to look at the hourly. Okay, B looks like I'm going to leave 4 like that for now. It meets all rules. It doesn't look too awful, but I would rather have a better solution than what I have there. But I don't want to make this video 8 hours long for you. That's too much. Why do you keep doing that, motive wave? Do it like that. There. Okay. And then the next thing I can see are there's lots of overlapping 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we move into the 3, 4, 3, 4 up into here. So I'm going to make this possibly intermediate wave 1 over there. Interesting. The proportions look good if you have intermediate 1 over there rather than there. And intermediate 2 could certainly be an expanded flat. But let's see. Okay, so I think the first one probably here. And this has to go down here. The key is, will the middle of the third wave work? That's important. And I want to see this here. And no, this has to be here. Yep. I think there is an overlap. Yeah, because then you want to see this here like this. Okay, so that doesn't work. So I think I have to count in these. Oh yeah, okay, now that works really well. And we'll put that there. That looks really good. Whether I put 1 and 2 here or on this candlestick doesn't really matter too much, but I think it's probably more likely on this one there. And now I can see this 5 is looking like a really good impulse too. Except I want to put 3 there and I want to put 1 there. Oh yeah, okay, this looks really good. This is a nice expanded flat. So A is a zigzag. Let's just check the length of B to A. 1.16, well within normal range, and beyond 1.05 that's an expanded flat. Let's just have a look out of curiosity's sake if there's a Fibonacci ratio between A and C. No. A little bit longer. So 1.618, the length of A, is 50.17, but C is 56.09. So it's a bit longer than 1.618, the length of A. If that labelling's right, then intermediate 2 should be over. So going back to my weekly chart, what I've done in here is I've got 1 there, 2 there, and so 2 overlapping first and second waves. Okay. That could be correct. Let's take a look at some classic technical analysis and see how much support or lack thereof is there for a bullish wave count for Zcash. So the first, well, if this is correct, if this big counter trend movement, A, B, C, and you would struggle to see that as a 5. Let's have a look. Would it technically be possible? The low here is 26.1532. The low here is, well, you could see it as an ending diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do a quick alternate. Real quick so I can show you what I'm seeing, because I'm aware that I can see it, but I'm not making it clear to you. So for this part of the wave count, it is technically possible, I think. Let's make this primary degree to see this as starting up here at the high of the first day. There, like that. Okay, 3 is shorter than 1, 5 is shorter than 3, 4 is shorter than 2. Do the trend lines work? Yeah, and there's a nice overshoot for the 5th wave. So from this high to this low, this downward movement could either be a motive wave or it could be a corrective wave. And yeah, that's going to fit. That's going to be okay. Either way, trying to fit it into a bigger structure. If this is a counter trend movement ending down here at this low for Zcash, then the larger trend would be up. Counter trend movement ends here, upward trend begins. Alternatively, if this is a motive wave, the trend could be down, and 1, 2, 3, when 1, 2, 3 is finished, because 1, 2, 3, if it of an impulse subdivides the same as ABC of a zigzag. So there could be a counter trend movement moving up, which could mean that Zcash, for the bigger picture, could be in a bear market. Which means that this is probably one of the riskiest possibilities. I think it's more likely to be this and be in a new bull market, and it's still well below its all-time highs where it opened. So I think it's still a good opportunity, but I'm going to scale down any investment I put into it and make it pretty small. Let's have a look at classic analysis of Zcash now. This is a weekly chart showing this important low back down here, which is 2016 February. And I'm having a look at the weekly chart just to see how extreme this market can get, and looking to see if there are candlestick reversal patterns at important highs and lows. There's a strong hammer candlestick pattern down here. And this is a nice bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. There's no bearish candlestick pattern at this important high. A huge dragonfly doji down here. Bearish engulfing, no bullish candlestick pattern at this very important low. Some bearish upper wicks here, but no bearish candle. Oh no, that's a dark cloud cover actually. That is a bearish candlestick pattern. Volume starts off slowly and tends to increase as price moves higher. Volume mirrors price, so that's really difficult. And many of these cryptocurrencies exhibit that same pattern. Volume starts slowly, accelerates through the middle, explodes at the end. It reached very deeply oversold. This is the first time I've seen one of these cryptocurrencies reach that deeply oversold. They tend to be more extreme on the positive overbought side of the trend, not so extreme on the negative side. So that's another warning, I think, that this might not be the best investment opportunity. But I could be wrong. Okay, the trend reaches very extreme. It's above 50 and above both DX lines, so it can sustain a very extreme trend. At these important recent highs here, there was no real bearish divergence between price and RSI, so that would have been pretty difficult to find. And along the way up, so the shorter term highs, so I see no bearish candlestick patterns in here. Here's a dark cloud cover, but not a strong one. I see a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern here, but it wasn't after that week followed by any more downward movement. And I see what looks like a pretty good evening star pattern here, but that wasn't followed by downward movement. So I see some bearish candlestick patterns that weren't followed by downward movement. What about bullish? Well, here's a strong morning star. It was followed by some upward movement though. A piercing pattern. Another morning star, not a very good one though. Bullish engulfing pattern followed by a little bit of upward movement. Another bullish engulfing pattern, not really followed by much before we see substantial new lows. Okay, so candlestick patterns not that reliable for this market. Let's look at the current situation on the weekly chart. No bullish candlestick pattern here. There's a dark cloud cover here, and there's short-term bearish divergence between price and RSI, but between these peaks with RSI, up to this point, no bearish divergence between price and RSI, so that would have been rather difficult to pick this one actually. This one's difficult. Here's a blow off top. It's not the eventual high, they really are. A little bit of a pullback and then the final high just after the blow off top with weaker volume compared to the blow off top. That's pretty common. Now we're seeing some volume pushing price higher here, but now we get a strong bearish engulfing candlestick pattern with push from volume. And this one here was followed by downward movement. It did have push from volume. Dark cloud cover here, not supported by volume. Bearish engulfing candlestick pattern here, not supported by volume. Evening star here, not supported by volume. Doesn't have to be, I'm just looking to see if this is a different situation, and it is. This is more bearish. Okay, let's look at the daily chart and let's have a look at this. This is a huge bearish engulfing pattern, and these three together make an evening star. Very strong, and it doesn't have push from volume. So here's the first red candlestick, which almost looks like a gravestone doji, but not quite a doji. And then the second candlestick is this one, which has weaker volume. So not as impressive as you would think, and it's this candlestick, which is a small range inside day, that has strong volume. That's interesting. Death cross here, 55-day average remains below 200, that's bearish. On balance volume range bound, price essentially range bound. I haven't looked left to find support and resistance either. No clear trend at this time frame, the daily chart level, RSI neutral. The highs though, these important highs, there was bearish divergence at the daily chart level, and that really short-term little divergence at the weekly chart level as well. So this divergence followed by a strong bearish candlestick pattern after ADX reached very extreme. Okay, I think it would be reasonable actually to consider a deeper pullback, which is not what my Elliott wave count expects. I think for this one I'd rather rely on classic technical analysis, although it does appear to have enough volume for an Elliott wave count. However, when I'm looking at these classic analysis charts, it just doesn't seem to have any even partly reliable signals for us to look at. This is a really difficult market, this one. Very, very hard to analyse, not a lot of price history to work with either. I don't think this is actually a very good investment opportunity, and I might give this one a miss. Or if I do invest, it'll be a really small amount just for fun, just to see what happens. Only money I'm prepared to lose that I'd spend on lunch or something. I think that's it from me with Zcash for you, and I'll keep working through that list you've given me. Thank you very much for watching.